Hey everybody, it's Bryan, and you are listening to the Course Building Secrets podcast. Whether you're a coach or a CEO, the success of your team and clients is based on your ability to deliver a consistent experience and guide them on the fastest path to results. This podcast will give you practical, real-life tips that you can use today to build your online experiences that get results and create raving fans. Why? So you can monetize your expertise and serve more people without adding more time or team to your business. If you're looking to uncover your $1 million framework, package it, and use it to scale, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
I want to talk briefly about how to price your offer. So often people come to me and say, well, I don't know how much my course should be. I don't know how much my product should be. What should I charge for it? What is the price that it should be? And so often the question isn't what the price or cost is. The question is, what is the value that my solution provides to somebody else? What is the value that they're going to get by implementing what you're doing? And that is actually the question to start with, because here's the deal. If you can, save somebody a bunch of money, or make somebody a bunch of money, or improve a relationship, or add some sort of addition to a relationship, or if you're making a change, right, your result is quantifiable and there is a clear before and there's a clear after, then the pricing is around the value that they associate with that. So if I can make somebody an extra $100,000 a year, then I think about, okay, so if my solution makes somebody $100,000 a year, then what is it that I can charge to provide that value for my clients? Which is a very different conversation than how much does my thing cost. And so, when people are asking me about kind of the art of pricing, that's where I start, is what is the result that you're giving and how do you make it quantifiable? How do you make it into something that you can measure? And that's really the key, is measure that result. And the measurement has to be something that that's tangible, right? So then immediately somebody says, well, but my result isn't tangible. My result is delivering, something that you can't measure, like improving happiness, for example. You can't measure that. Okay, well, then take it a step further and saying, if I have an increase in happiness, what does that do for my life? How do you measure that? Can you measure it in, getting a new job and making more money? Can you measure it in finding a significant other or improving a relationship? You need to come up with some sort of tangible value. So dig deeper into that result and what getting that result does for somebody, right? Because here at the end of the day, people are going to buy your solution because it solves a problem that they have. And if it doesn't solve a problem, then you've got to figure out the problem you're solving first, and then figure out the result. What's the tangible value that you're able to get for them? Again, if you're not solving a problem, people aren't going to take out their wallet because it's not going to be painful enough. It's not going to have any sense of urgency. It's not going to be something that they're actively trying to do. It may be a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. And the need to have is where you find people who want to solve that problem and people who value their time, their energy, and their money, and they want to, use that to solve the problem that you are uniquely qualified to give them. So if you have a topic that you're like, well, it doesn't really solve a problem, then dive into what part of that topic would actually solve a problem. Sometimes it's going smaller, well, most of the time, it's going smaller into the topic in order to find something specific that you can do in terms of a problem. So, for example, I have a client right now she specializes in helping people improve their customer service so they can have, better relationships, they can retain employees, they can have less complaints, all sorts of different reasons why you would take customer service training. So instead of saying, well, I offer customer service training because everybody needs to know how to, treat their clients or their customers well, it's really digging down one layer deeper and saying, okay, from a company perspective, if I want the company to invest money, time, and resources into my solution, the reason for them doing that has to be very clear. By providing your people with customer service training, you will, reduce your complaints that you have, which in turn helps you have more happy customers, which increases your referrals and increases your ratings on Google or whatever, right? That's very tangible. You may have a problem with turnover. People are leaving because their customers are super unhappy and it's causing a toxic work environment. Right. So what are, dig into the real reasons, and then that's what you use then to help people see the value in purchasing your solution. Then it doesn't so much matter how much it costs, right? Because the pain is more than the pain of them taking out their wallet, right? So really think through that when you're thinking about the art of pricing. Then if you're really struggling with those two things, because that's where you start, the third thing I would say to do is to really look at your offer. And how do you make that offer so awesome and juicy that it seems like they're getting a deal by buying your thing? Because the thing that you're selling and the offer you put together are two different things, which we could have a whole episode just on that. But really think about what you're offering and how to make it a no-brainer, right? So take something that, everybody has, customer service training, and create an offer around it that just makes it a no-brainer for that company to be able to purchase and use to solve their problem. Then the fourth thing I would say, and this is where I go through the activity, because sometimes people need kind of that concrete, like how much do I need to charge in order to break even? How much do I need to charge in order to, actually have a viable business? How much do I need to charge to make this worth my while, right? So look at that number, do the math, figure it out. So take your expenses and, cost per unit and all of that. Do all of that so sort of that minimum price you need to charge. But don't get hung up there, because that may help you just know kind of your minimum, right? Just stay in business. But that's not actually what you're bringing to market. You're bringing to market how the value of what you're providing and the problem that you're solving, and really looking at it from that perspective. But be clear on what your costs are. Be clear on what you need in order to stay in business. Because at the end of the day, you have a business. You don't have a product that you're just selling, right? You have a business that you're supporting, and the purpose of business is a transaction between value and money, right? You need to be making money in order to stay in business, and so therefore, the value that you're providing needs to be more than the cost that it takes to run your business. So that is another whole conversation that we can have. But when you're looking at pricing, if that makes you feel more comfortable, just go there as your minimum. But when you're really thinking about what value you want to charge for what you have, think about the other factors that I taught you about. I'm going to give you a little tough love here at the end, which is sometimes people get really hung up on what they think the market will spend. Well, my market doesn't have any money. My market won't pay for this. My market my product needs to be low cost because my market won't pay. And I'm going to challenge you on that, because what that says is your market doesn't see the value between giving up their money and what you have to offer. And so you have to go back to the initial problem result equation, solve for that. If you can solve for that, then you have a viable product. If you cannot solve for that, you say, well, there isn't really a need, or there's not really a tangible result that somebody gets from this thing or this topic, then you're right. They're not going to pay because they're not going to see how it solves their problem. And if they don't have a problem, they're not going to buy. And so, again, go back to that activity, and you may have to drill down more within your topic in order to actually get to that pain or problem that somebody has or a company has that makes them willing to pay the money. If you have, say you have a company and you have a customer service problem, and as the example, and you say, well, we have this problem, but we don't have any money. The question becomes, how much money are you spending on that customer service problem, right? In retention of clients, it's 3 to 5 times more expensive to find a new client than it is just to keep or retain the ones that you have. That has financial impact. Turnover, it's much more expensive to hire a new employee than it is to keep the employees that you have and keep them happy, right? So when you think about, well, my client doesn't have any money to pay for this, that actually is false. What is happening is the money that they're paying because they have a problem is just not clearly defined, right? If you could transform an industry and literally look at how to save their hard costs, then you are providing value. You are providing a solution that changes how they're looking at either making money or keeping money or, becoming more successful as a company. Because at the end of the day, if they're a business, they need to make a profit. They need to retain customers, and they need to retain and hire the right people. Those are 3 main issues that every company has. And so if your solution doesn't tie into one of those particular problems, then you need to figure out how your topic, how your solution can get there. Because people don't pay for information. People don't pay for, something that doesn't solve their problem. And so how do you solve their problem? In some cases, like if you're solving this customer service training, perhaps they don't have their own internal customer service training program, and they need one, because if they were to build one in-house, it would be much more expensive. Perhaps they don't have a training team that can do customer service training. You're providing them with a solution that's already created, doesn't require resources, and is something that, probably saves them travel time, seat time, instructor time, and all sorts of other things that are very tangible in terms of numbers. The more you can capture those, the more what you're charging will seem like a deal because you're offering a solution to a particular problem. So there you go. There is my course building secret for the day. Really dial in all of these different factors as you're looking at your pricing, because it's not just what's the cheapest thing out there. It's not just asking people, well, what do you want to pay for this? Because what people want to pay and what they will pay are 2 totally different things, right? And just look at your own buying habits to look at that. And that is the key to being able to really look at what you're offering and how to make it into something that allows you to invest in, building your business, invest in other programs, invest in making the program better, invest in resources and tools and people that help you make a bigger impact in the world. And this is where it all starts, is really looking at this from a strategic perspective. And the art of pricing is more than just how much something costs. So there you go. There is your course building secret for today.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. The best thing you can do is to take action on an idea or tip that resonated with you. To help you take action, I have a free gift for you that you can download in the show notes. During each episode, we publish an action plan worksheet and other helpful takeaways from our speakers in the Course Building Secrets Creators Lab. To register for free, click on the link in the show notes. Enjoy!
Hey everybody, are you a business owner ready to streamline and scale your business? Imagine solving the biggest business challenges with clarity, a strategy, and a clear plan. Hey, I'm Bryan, and I want to invite you to take the first step towards transforming your business with a free 30-minute discovery call. This call is an opportunity to discuss your goals, identify key challenges, and learn how my mentorship program can help you achieve the success you're aiming for. In just a half hour, we'll explore how you can scale your business by enhancing your authority strategy, engagement strategy, and retention strategy. You'll get personalized advice and a clear path forward. Ready to take the first step? Click on the link below that's in the show notes to book your free discovery call now. I hope to talk to you soon.